Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. The SNP talk a good game when it comes to being virtuous about their green credentials, but it is sheer and utter absolute hypocrisy. They cut down 16 million trees, they destroy entire ecosystems so they can put up these bird chopping windmills and claim that they're doing good for the planet. It's clearly bunkum. But what's worse, and despite climbing into bed with the Greens, who aren't in it for the environment at all because they just want to push a Marxist ideology, but what's worse is that not only do they have all this bullshit virtue signalling up front saying, look at us, we're marvellous, they also want nice pensions. And of course, to get that, they have to invest in fossil fuel, and indeed to the tune of £2 billion of their pension funds are invested in fossil fuel industries. Why? Well, it's all very nice being virtuous in the green and earth-saving technology, but it doesn't make money. And when you retire, you want a nice little pension for that. You need to invest in things that make money. Oil, gas, mining, all those nasty things that you hate. But all those nasty things are ka-ching. And that's why they invest in them. But their goose is about to be cooked because there's protesters out there saying, divest yourself. Rid yourself of these fossil fuels in your pensions and go green. That'll concentrate their minds wonderfully when they see the fall in the value of their pensions. Let's take a look. So, Scottish Council pension funds have more than £2 billion invested in fossil fuels. And now the mad people are up there going, oh, get rid of them. But you've got to, first of all, before we even get into that, I will just point out that most of the people who work for the council aren't your top executives. They're poor people. They're normal people. They're people like you and me. They're people like the people in this picture, for heaven's sake. The ones protesting it. They're not wealthy, and they need these pensions. And it's all very well and nice saying, oh yeah, divest yourself so you feel better. Yeah, feeling better doesn't pay your food bill, does it? Doesn't pay your electricity bill. Feeling good is great. Feeling good's super if you can afford to feel good. But if you can't afford to feel good, at least feel substantially better because you've got food in your cupboard and a roof over your head. And for that, you need a good pension. And that comes from things that make money. Nothing green ever makes money. All wealth comes out of the ground. Anyway, Scottish councils have more than £2 billion of pension funds tied up in fossil fuel industries, new analysis has revealed. The new findings by Friends of the Earth Scotland and Platform have unveiled that investments have been made in some of the world's biggest polluters, including Shell, BP, ExxonMobil, Chevron and Equinor. Must say, BP price up massively. I hold a few shares in that, and I've watched it climb about 14% over the last couple of months. Let me tell you, I'm more than satisfied. The new data has revealed that the biggest fossil fuel investor in Scotland is also the country's single biggest local government fund, the Strathclyde Pension Fund, administered by Glasgow City Council. And of course it is. The whole point of the pension fund isn't to make political decisions. And this is what they've got to understand. A pension fund has one job. That is there to make money for its investors, to make money for the people who then rely on that pension for the remainder of their lives. It is not there to make any political statement. And every time a business makes a political statement, it loses money. We've seen this time and time again. And so these Greens and all these environmentalists are sitting there going, oh, give it up, give it up, give it up. Fine. Will they be willing to put their hands in their pockets to pay these people who've invested their pension funds out of their pockets if those pensions don't make as much as if they did have the fuels, the BPs and Shells and that in them? Of course the answer is no, because they don't have the money. It's only the BPs and the Shells and the Exxons that have this kind of wealth generation. Anyway, Strathclyde Pension Fund was found to have invested at least 618 million in fossil fuel companies, and I don't blame them. As I say, there's a lot of money there. I also have a lot of money tied up in things like cigarettes, gold and mines. I know they're all terrible, but you know what they do? They pay up very well, let me tell you. Also, GlaxoSmithKline, doing very well as well. Anyway, Glasgow City Council voted to divest from fossil fuels in April 2021. But campaigners have raised concerns that the Strathclyde Pension Fund, which manages the money, has still not enacted this change because they don't want to lose money. It's not. Glasgow City Council are just the council. They are not the runners of the pension fund. Now, here's an interesting thing that you've got to take into consideration. Glasgow City Council are a bunch of individuals. They are not the owners of those pensions. If they want to divest themselves individually from oil and fuels, things like fossil fuels, that's up to them as individuals. But they cannot then sit there and tell the fund to do that, because that money doesn't belong to them. That money belongs to the fund holders, the workers, the individuals. If you want, as the council, to do this, the council's got to go to each and every single person who's put money into that fund and ask their permission to do so. And explain to them that, yeah, we can do this. It'd be great. You'll feel better. You'll all lose money, but you'll all feel better. And then explain. I don't think that's going to happen, do you? And if they did force Strathclyde Pension Fund to do that, and then it came down in value and they weren't getting as much as if they were invested in there, then the individual pension fund holders, the workers, would then sue Glasgow Council for the differential of income. Is that really the route they want to take? It's unbelievable, isn't it, that these people are even thinking like that? It's because they're badly advised. What's the word? Morons. They're morons. We know this. Remember, it's the pensioners that own the pension fund. It's not the council. The council is there to basically administer it. But when it actually comes to making money, it's the pension company's job to invest the money of the people getting the money. They don't listen to the councils. The Lothian Pension Fund, administered by Edinburgh City Council, has at least 350 million invested in fossil fuels. The Capital's councils also voted in favour of disinvestment in November 2022. But the fund managers have not taken action to do so. Again, because the council can say what it likes, but it's not their money. But member councils do not have authority over the funds, there we go, which are overseen by their own committee, meaning the interests of the council cannot drive the pension fund. Oh yeah, they can talk about it. Oh, we'd like it to happen. Well, you're going to like a lot of things. It ain't going to happen. With the majority of oil and gas companies set to expand their operations, campaigners are calling on pension funds to listen to councillors and stop funding fossil fuels. Do you just say to these pension fund managers, yeah, we know you get paid as a percentage of what the money you make. What we'd like you to do is make less money. These pension fund managers are going to use two words. The second one is off. Because you know what the pension fund managers like? They like money. That's why they're doing it. They like lots and lots of money. Sally Clark, divestment campaigner at Friends of the Earth Scotland and moron, said it's unbelievable that despite clear direction from the councillors, the biggest council pension funds in Scotland are still investing this obscene amount of money in fossil fuel companies that are driving climate breakdown. I think it's unbelievable that a woman who pretends to be clever doesn't understand that it isn't the council's money and that the councillors have no power. And that if you go to each individual person and ask them, go on, Sally, you can do it, Sally. Go and ask all the millions of people who've got their pensions invested with these companies if they'd like to take that divestment and lose that oil and take a smaller pension. Go on, you can do it. Prick. Councils, she says, must play their part in protecting the long-term future of their employees by ending their support for oil and gas expansion and investing in in building a cleaner, safer future for us all. No, they don't. It's not the council's job to do that. If you want to tell the individual investors to do that, that's a different matter, but it's not the council place. But their attempts to do this, she said, are being blocked by the pension fund managers. No, they're being blocked by law. There is an absolute air gap between the people who, the council and the fund managers, an air gap. One cannot tell the other what to do because, again, not their money. She said, the money moved away from fossil fuels could instead be invested in ways that support local communities and protect the planet for everyone, like renewable energy. That's all very fine in principle, but renewable energy doesn't make money. And how do you get all the resources to make all the stuff that renewable energy comes from? Well, you have to get it from the earth. You mining it. You're dragging out the earth. And we've seen how dirty that is. Everything comes out of the earth, you stupid woman. And be it oil and gas is one way. Oh, let's all go renewable. That just means digging the same hole, only bigger, over there. Because when the oil comes out, it's all in one go. Boom. When you're digging ore out, you might only have 1% of that ore being the actual mineral that you need. But, you know, say bauxite, only 1%. When you build bauxite out, only about 1% of any ton of bauxite is actually aluminium. You then have to process all of that just to get a little bit of aluminium out. It's even worse than the oil. But hey, we need all that aluminium to build all these bird choppers, apparently. These people are so stupid. I mean, I think they must go to a special college where they actually learn how to be that stupid. And then just before they leave, they graduate by having a frontal lobotomy. It's the only explanation. Anyway, Green's MSP and shitbag, vertical turd, Maggie Chapman, the perverter of children's innocence, and friend of Hamas and baby killers, said that after a week of climate chaos that hit large, it wasn't climate chaos, it was one rainstorm caused by a low pressure and a high pressure in the wrong place. Move on, stupid cow. Knows nothing about weather, does she? Again, another one. Moron. Likes to pontificate on things she doesn't know fuck all about. Like, that's anything she talks about. Knows nothing, does she? Blah, blah, blah. I don't even want to listen to her because I can't stomach that shit of a woman. That dog shit filled pile of human skin. Anyway, a Lothian Pension Fund spokesperson said, Lothian Pension Fund invest responsibly, with the objective being to pay pensions for over 80,000 members. You know, as I say, absolutely. If you go to people and say, hey, do you want a reduced pension or a nice pension? And they're just going to look at you as though you've got a cuckoo coming out your forehead. Anyway, she'll round off there. She'll come up. We shall finish the video. Trouble is, these people don't face reality. British pensions are among the worst in the Western world. So if you have a little private pension that tops that up, all well and good. But even then, you're still not going to be rich, are you? You see, you might be comfortable, but that's about as much as you expect. And to ask people who are, worked all their life to, can you just give up a bit of that? Can you give up a bit of wealth? Can you go to be a bit poorer? Can you not have as nice a retirement as possible? Just so that I, a little lefty, huffing me own fart tosspot, can feel a little bit better about what I've done. Meanwhile, China, another 2 coal powered stations this week. It's shite, isn't it? It's absolute crap. And they aren't going to do it. They're going to win anyway, are they? Because ultimately, people just invest in where the money is. Like I said, and I shouldn't tell you, but I'm going to tell you, all my money's tied up in things like coal, mining, cigarettes, GlaxoSmithKline. Why? Why? That's where the money is. I've got a few goes out. I've got funds and things, but yeah, you put your money where the returns are. That's how the world works. Why would I invest and get 1% from green energy? That's assuming you actually get any payment out of them. Whereas you can get 8 or 9% for the same investment with BP. Also, share price done very well, as I mentioned. But that's how it is. That's the way of the world. I'm not going to impoverish myself so that little lefties like that can feel better. So why should I expect anyone else to do it? Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that this has been amusing for you to see that for all their crap, the SNP, for all their virtue signalling, yeah, they've still got £2 billion invested in good old fossil fuels. Pays the bills, doesn't it? Ironically, some of that will be in North Sea oil. Anyway, I shall finish there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see here on the channel, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I shall talk to you later. Bye.